freedom and tyranny. Everything needs to be put in that perspective. Any Republican that is not doing that is losing it. And when I was looking, for instance, at the language and the tax plan, I cited it in my last newsletter. It's just a bunch of Marxist garbage. Make the wealthy pay what they owe. And then I also have all of the statistics in there that show the top 1% pay more than the 90% combined. But these are people who went out and risked it, and they made something of themselves. But for Marxism to exist, there has to be envy. You have to covet. Marxism requires sin. You have to want what someone else has. It's always, as Margaret Thatcher said, it's always easier to be generous with somebody else's money. The idea over, oh, well, these people, like this ProPublica stuff that was released. ProPublica releases this whole thing to try to shame people and they want to make the wealthy feel bad for being successful. And I loathe that. I loathe it. They come out with this, can you believe these wealthy people? They write, today ProPublica, and this was yesterday, is launching the first in a series of stories based on the private tax data. So see, they have a lot more. And that's the thing that they're not telling anyone. This is a felony to release this information and also to publish it. Twitter hasn't suspended ProPublica. They suspended New York Post. That wasn't a felony, what New York Post shared. But they won't suspend ProPublica. Why? Because they're like-minded. We obtained information, they write, from an anonymous source. They gave us large amounts of information on the ultra-wealthy, from the taxes they paid to the income reported. You know, one of the reasons why all of this stuff is kept private is so people are honest with their reporting. They said, quote, in the coming months, we plan to use this material to explore how the nation's wealthiest people exploit the structure of our tax code to avoid tax burdens borne by ordinary citizens. First off, I'm sorry, but no, that's not even remotely true. They have a burden that you will never know. People sit here and get mad about wealthy people and all this other stuff. You know, I'm telling you what, it's insane. To exploit the structure of the tax code, they take advantage of legal loopholes. They're not exploiting anything. If they wanted to get mad at the people who wrote the legal loopholes for them to use. Get mad at the people who wrote this stupid tax code. No, they won't do that. It's a Marxist goal to get you to hate rich people. They're not doing this because they want to reform the tax system and make it fair and transparent. They're doing this to elicit envy so that they can force public consent to this ridiculous Marxist wealth redistribution via tax code. And since we've been talking about the Stasi for the past couple of days, this is a tactic that they enjoyed if ever there was one. But it requires envy to work. They have to appeal to your worst angels. You have to covet. Well, if I don't have this, I bet I can get it if the government does X, Y, and Z. It's considered by the people who advocate for this type of policy, they say, oh, these rich people, they're selfish. But if it's a discussion of selfishness, how are you not selfish because you're wanting something that you didn't earn? How are you not selfish because you're coveting something that your neighbor has?